Welcome back to the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast, the show where we bring you expert insights, real conversations, and practical tools to help families navigate senior living, aging in place, and housing transitions with more clarity and confidence. I'm your host, Dale Corpus, a Senior Transition Specialist and real estate expert based in the San Francisco Bay Area. Like many of you, I'm part of the sandwich generation, juggling career, family, and caregiving responsibilities for aging loved ones. And that's exactly why I started this podcast, to simplify the process and connect you with trusted voices in this space. Today's topic is one that people avoid, but absolutely shouldn't: end-of-life pre-planning. Joining me today is Lili Garcia, a pre-planning advisor at Dignity Memorial, one of the largest networks of funeral, cremation, and cemetery providers in North America. She helps families make important decisions before they're in crisis with compassion, clarity, and dignity. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast, where we help families navigate senior living, real estate, and everything in between. Hosted by Senior Transition Specialist Dale Corpus, this show brings you expert insights, real solutions, and stress-free strategies to make senior transitions simple. Ready to dive in? Let's go.
And we're back, everybody. Lili, welcome to the show today. How are you?
Good, thank you. How about you?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk about a topic that I feel like most people want to avoid. But this podcast, I'm hoping, will bring it to light and maybe open up conversations about this, because what I think you do is important. So can you tell us how you got into the world of pre-planning and what drew you to this type of work?
Okay, kind of long story, Dale. First of all, thank you for having me here. And hello, listeners. Thank you for listening today. And I started this one way back in the Philippines. Someone presented to me the importance of pre-planning, and I saw it make total sense. So I joined them. So after my 8-hour job, I'll go to the pre-planning office, and most of the time in the weekends, I'll go to the field to meet people. And I talk to people, to everyone. I told them about the importance again and again. You have to talk to them. And then I bought a double flat for my parents.
Okay.
Back then. Yeah. So I migrated here in 2004. So 2 years after, my mother passed away. And 7 months after, my father did.
Oh, wow.
So being the third from the eldest of 4 and the only one in here, I got to decide which one, what preparation or what to do with my parents. And I got to spend for everything.
Okay.
My siblings, my brothers and sister were there to do the logistics. Knowing how hard it is not to have a pre-planning or something pre-planned for, I want to educate people and help people on how talk about what matters most, and do their own wishes and secure their own funeral planning and cemetery properties while it is affordable.
Okay. And so what does your role as a pre-planning advisor at Dignity Memorial involve?
Okay, it involves educating clients, educating families on what is the best thing to do, or how much will it cost. I know it's very hard, but I provide information because they will always ask how much will it cost right away.
Right.
Like in the beginning of the communication of the conversation, they will always ask how much will it cost. Well, let's talk about that a little bit later. So I'm gonna give them information first, and then educate them, provide financial guidance, of course, and then I take them to the cemetery or to the location wherever their preference is. If they want to go Oak Hill or if they want to go Lima Family Cedar Lawn, which is in Fremont.
Okay. And why is pre-planning such an important but often overlooked step for families?
Well, people are so skeptical. Some people will say, oh, I'm not going to die yet. Some people will say, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. And, when they say, I'm not ready, and they will wait until such time that they will forget about it. And then when the parents are already aging, then they will they will forget about it, and then until they leave the burden to their family, to their loved ones. Yeah.
Um, I want to segue into questions related to why pre-planning matters. First question here is, what are the biggest misconceptions people have about end-of-life planning?
Oh, it's so scary, Dale. It's so
Okay.
scary to talk about it, and it's so expensive. And people will say, I'm not prepared to do it yet.
Mhm.
And then if I pre-plan for it, I'm going to die soon, which is
Mm,
not true. Which is
right.
not true. Yeah.
Right. Right. And what types of decisions can people actually make in advance?
Oh, actually, Dale, initial conversation is really huge.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to know, or me as a daughter, probably, or as a sibling, I have to know what they want, what my sibling wants, what my parents want.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story, Dale. So, back in the Philippines, I was having a conversation with my mom. We were just
Uh,
laughing. It was just for fun. And then she asked me, that was like 3 months ago before I migrated here.
uh-huh.
And she goes, what are you going to do when I pass away? And I goes, which I'm glad she did ask me, right? And then
Right.
back then, the word cremation is not very popular yet
Right.
in the Philippines, right?
Right.
So I told her, I'm going to have you burn. And then she said, no, it's going to hurt. And then I
Uh-huh.
told her, no, you're not going to feel it. You'll be
Right.
dead. And then we were laughing. And so when even we were laughing, I
Yeah.
felt something. I felt something. I know I can see from her eyes that she doesn't want to be cremated. So when she did pass away, I have her buried.
Yeah.
So it's so important to know the preference, right? So parents can tell the children, oh, I want to be buried, or I want to be cremated when I
Yeah.
die. Or children can ask their parents, what are your preference?
And what does the pre-planning process usually look like with you?
Oh, we will have just like an initial conversation. Some people are still afraid to go to the cemetery
Uh-huh.
or to the funeral home. And so I will just invite them for coffee. We'll just
Okay.
explain to them how it works and what are the importance of the pre-planning. And then we can discuss the different options. And from there, they can decide from there. I can tell them about the promotion, the discounts, and everything, and then we can schedule a tour if they want.
Okay. And how does pre-planning reduce stress for families when the time comes?
Or believe me, when everything is pre-planned, there will be no more stress. It's just like one phone call away to our providers. You know, they
Okay.
are just one phone call away.
And what are the emotional benefits for seniors who take this step?
Oh, you know what? If the parents already pre-planned,
Yeah.
they will feel confident that their children will do what their wishes,
Right.
what they want, and they will be very sure. They will feel safe that children will not fight anymore, will not argue anymore on what to do when they pass away. Because some children do argue.
Yeah.
I have a family that, the mother is still alive right now, and there's 6 of them. And one of the daughter already secured a cemetery, I mean, a niches. And then
Yeah.
there's 6 of them too. Oh, how much is my share? How much is my share? They have to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. I feel like on the parent side of thing, if they do the pre-planning, it takes away any of the guesswork. It also can take away even a lot of the guessing of the financial responsibility too, of like how
Yes.
this is all going to get paid, right? Because it's already
Yeah.
determined up front. And I think that's also huge, right?
Oh, yeah. Plus, there's no more arguments in that. Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about some, real stories and some family dynamics. Can you share an example of a family that benefited from having everything planned in advance? I'm sure
Oh,
of a lot of these stories.
oh, yeah. I got a lot of stories to
Yeah.
tell, but I'm only limited to
Yeah.
2. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
just one. Yeah.
Okay. One.
It's
Okay.
fine.
I have a friend, and him and his brother bought like couple of plots over
Okay.
at Oak Hill, right? So over a year ago, their dad passed away, and they told me dad passed away.
Okay.
okay, you guys are all set. You have the funeral services planned for, you have the plots planned for. So all you have to do is call Oak Hill, yeah? So they called Oak Hill, and within 2 hours, the dad got picked up by the professional. And of course, the arrangement, the family service counselor called them, and they were asked to come in to do the final arrangements. Like
Okay.
the service counselor provided the times and the dates that are available, and they just have to choose. They just want to update the casket, so that's what they did. They updated the caskets, and everything went well with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have another. I only get to say one, right?
Well, let me. Yeah, you only have to say one, but here, I have a. Well, I want to know the flip side. This is where you could talk about another story because I want to hear a story about a family that did not pre-plan and what type of difference it made. Do you have any stories related to that?
Yeah, I remember that I have a friend shopping, right? And it's
Okay.
natural, it's normal to shop, right? So she was shopping and she was asking me how much will it cost to do the burial and then
Yeah.
the cremation and everything. Of course, I have to tell her everything, right? But she did not make the final decisions on time. So, cut the story short, the mother in law passed away
Okay.
in the middle of the night. So she called me around 2 a.m.
Okay.
and asked me what to do. And so even if she didn't pre-plan with me, of course, she's my friend. I have to walk her the process. So I did told her what to do, just, call Oak Hill, this and that. So whichever funeral home is closer to them. And I think that, yeah, the time they are closer to Oak Hill. Yeah. So I told her what to do. And that wasn't easy for her because
Okay.
at that time they're still shopping and it took forever for the mother-in-law to get picked up because they
Got
have
it.
to check. They have to know which funeral home will pick up the mother.
Got it. Got it.
Mhm.
Now, and how do you help families who avoid talking about death due
Mhm.
to discomfort or cultural taboos?
You know what? I will just invite them to have a very casual conversation with me, and I will tell them my story, how it helped me when I did pre-plan for my parent. Yeah, and then of course there are many beliefs, and
Yeah.
we want to respect that, right? We want to respect that, and I will just tell them the importance and the benefits of pre-planning. Sometimes they will get encouraged and they will make decisions right away, but
Mhm.
some people will say, I'll think about it, which is normal. Yeah, just think about it. I will give, yeah.
I have a related question. How do adult children get involved or should they?
Yeah, they should, if there's like adult children, I would encourage them to get involved, especially if the parents are pre-planning right away. They should know what they are pre-planning for and they should know what they're buying for and for them to know the documents that will be there and they have to keep it in a safe place as well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I want to now explore the logistics of pre-planning.
Mhm.
For example, what are the key components families should think about when pre-planning? Funeral, cremation, cemetery, etc.
Yeah, so it will always depends on their personal preferences. So selecting, yeah, the funeral home which is closer to where they live,
Mhm.
preferably. Yeah, so and of course communicating their wishes. Do they want to be cremated? Do they want to be buried? And most of my clients are Filipinos. Some of them are, I want to be buried in the Philippines or I want to die in the Philippines. Well, you don't know where you're gonna die. You cannot tell where you're gonna die. If it happens here, what you gonna do? So, yeah.
Yeah. And in doing all of this pre-planning, what
Mhm.
kind of documentation is involved?
Well, if the family is willing to move forward with it, we're
Yeah.
gonna need the ID, the identification
Right.
card of the person, which will be the beneficiary for that pre-planning.
Hmm.
And then we're gonna need the social security number. We're gonna need the forms of payment. What forms of payment they're going to use? Is it gonna be a check or is it gonna be credit card or cashier's check? Cash. We cannot accept cash
Right.
actually. We don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they will also provide us with the email address and then the information of the people or the family members that's gonna be involved or they wanna be in that document in the
Okay.
contract.
Now,
Mhm.
can plans be transferred across locations or to other family members?
It can be transferred across locations. You know, we have like
Hmm.
over 1,900 locations within US and
Hmm.
Canada and Puerto Rico. So we can transfer, but we cannot transfer it to an individual family member from mother to father or from mother to sibling.
I
Yeah.
see. I see.
Mhm.
Related question is, what if somebody moves from California to Florida?
Yeah.
Is their plan still valid?
Yes, yes. As long as there's Dignity Memorial over there, we can help them transfer their pre-planning over there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you explain how financing or payment plans work for pre-planning?
Mhm. Yeah. Some people want to do a single pay, which is they will pay in full right away, and some people will decide to pay it off in 3 years or 5 years. And there's a lot of options to do it. Yeah, and there's people like, oh, can I pay it like a monthly payment right now, and after 10 months, if I have the money, can I pay it off? Of course, sure, something for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Mhm.
And I take
Mhm.
it, are there discounts if people just do a one-time payment? Mm.
Um, Discounts will depend if the person is still insurable.
Okay,
If the person is already in hospice care or terminally ill or something like that,
that
discount
makes
cannot
sense.
be.
That makes
Mhm.
sense. And
Mhm.
what do most people not understand about the cost savings of pre-planning?
Well, people think most of them it's very expensive, but
Yeah.
what do they know? It's gonna be more expensive if they don't pre-plan. Yeah. If you become an admin and you have to do it, it's gonna be more expensive for them because there's no more discount at the time.
Yeah.
Then you can, like, for example, you went to another funeral home and you didn't like it, and the funeral home already picked up the loved one, and then you change it again. Oh, maybe I don't like in this funeral home. Maybe I want to go to another funeral home or another cemetery. Then just the transporting again will cost them money.
Okay. I mean,
Mhm.
and I know you're already talking about this somewhat, but I want to dig even deeper. How does pre-planning with
Mhm.
Dignity Memorial compare to waiting and paying later?
Yeah. So again, if you pre-plan now, it's good. Dignity Memorial is one of the best provider in, nationwide. If you wait right now and you say, "Oh, I'll just buy it when I pass away," then it's gonna be more expensive. Again, more discount on that, and there's a lot of stress, Dale. If you don't pre-plan, there's a lot of stress to deal with.
Okay, I got it. Yeah,
Mhm.
I have another question now. Do you offer workshops or informational events for communities?
Yeah, we do have workshops, we do have informational events, and I also offer one-on-one most of the time, which is more personalized for me and services at no cost. Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
Mhm.
And where or are your workshops and informational events? Where are they around? Are they in different parts of the Bay Area, or just trying to get a sense for our listeners
Yeah,
to get
we
a
do hold our YLYL. We call it Your Life, Your Legacy seminars, and hold in restaurants or around the Bay Area.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
How can families start this process if they're hesitant?
That's really hard, right? So just think about it. We need to accept that everybody will gonna go, right?
Yeah,
At some point. We don't know when, we don't know how, and we don't know where,
right,
right?
right.
So just think about it that we will all gonna go and we need to pre-plan for ourselves unless we want to put a burden to our plan.
Right. And what advice do you have for someone thinking it's too early for this?
Nothing is too early.
Mm,
We never know, right? An accident can happen anytime. I have a friend that his son met an accident and the tree fell on them. He passed away right away.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I take it that was a situation where they might not even had pre-planning done,
And
right?
it's gonna be more expensive. Yeah. Again, we talk it like over and over again. It's
Yeah.
gonna be more expensive. It, it's like it's stressful. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more stressful. Yeah.
How do you work with other professionals like estate planning attorneys, fiduciaries, or even folks in real estate like myself?
Yeah. So we brainstorm. We brainstorm together and we come up with a plan on how can we reach out. Can we reach out the families that need to do this, or at least send out information to them that everybody needs to do this. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And how do you approach cultural or religious differences in planning?
So what I do is I only introduce myself first. Yeah. And I ask about their personal preferences. I ask about the restrictions of their religious beliefs or religious restrictions. And then we work together from there.
Okay. What's the most rewarding part of your work?
Wow. Very good question, Dale. The most rewarding part of my work is when I help the family pre-plan and then something has to happen. I'm still there for them and help them walk through the process again.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people that calls me, oh, my dad, my mom passed away. What do I
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, I understand. And
Yeah.
what's something most people are surprised to learn when they talk to you?
Oh, there's a lot of information to take. I didn't know that. I am not aware of that. And it will be very difficult for
Yeah.
them, for them to take it in. But, there's an initial talk already.
Yeah.
Then
What are most people surprised about when they first chat with you? What's something that you teach them that they didn't know that they're most surprised about? What do you think?
most of them will tell, oh, it's very expensive to die. They know it's very expensive to die. They didn't know that it is very expensive. And I will just explain it to them. It will be very difficult for your family if you don't. Yeah.
I understand. And what advice would you give to someone who feels overwhelmed by even starting this conversation?
Well, I'm just gonna tell them talking to me doesn't cost anything.
Okay.
Let's just sit down over coffee. You're not obligated to buy anything, and I will just provide you with all the information you need, and you decide from there whenever you're ready.
Yeah. One of the things I forgot to ask you at the very beginning is where are you based out of in California, in the Bay Area? And where can you help people? Like, for example, can you only help people in the Bay Area? And let's talk about that.
Yeah, I am based in San Jose, California.
Okay.
Based in the Bay Area, I can help people all over California as long as there's Dignity Memorial over there.
Okay.
And I can even help people in Texas. I am licensed to do Texas.
Okay. Got
Mhm.
it. Now, how can someone reach out to you if they want to learn more about pre-planning or set up a consultation?
They can text me, shoot a text message at my number. My number is 408-509-5546. My personal email is Garcia LH for Lima Hotel 54@gmail.com. And my business email is Leonila, leonila.garcia@dignitymemorial.com.
All right. Perfect. And last question.
Mhm.
Any final thoughts for our listeners and viewers about why all this matters?
Thank you. Hello again, listeners. It is very important to pre-plan. It is very valuable. It will give you peace of mind. So if you want to do it, give me a call. If you still want to do it, if you still hesitant to do it, just give me a call and we will just talk. We'll
Okay,
just
that
have
easy.
conversation.
Yeah, you keep it nice and simple. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, Lili, thank you so much for being here today. You brought so much clarity, empathy, and wisdom to a topic that can be tough for many families to even talk about. And I know this conversation is going to help a lot of people take that important first step. And for those of you watching or listening, if your loved one is considering senior living and you need to figure out what to do with their home, let's talk. Schedule a free consultation with me by clicking on the Calendly link in the video description box below. Learn more about my services at www.simplifyseniortransitions.com. Have a quick question? DM me on Instagram at Sold by Dale. And if you found this episode helpful, please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really helps more families discover the show. And don't forget to share this episode with someone who might need it. Thanks for tuning in. One last thank you to Lili for being on this show with me today. And I'll see you all on the next episode of the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast.